Yes, they are, but what they don't understand is it's going to be really bloody, and there might not be anything left if they do that.
Well, I mean, it's not talk, though. Americans are always like this. We put up and put up, but when the sleeping giant gets up...
That's right.
I mean, it's... I tell you, I'm not looking forward.
Some captured SS officers was questioned in World War II. By the way, my family goes all the way back to the Civil War, serving this country. So we are all patriots. But they asked this SS officers what they was afraid of most in the United States military, and they said, a mad American. They said, if we had a big battle and we annihilated a unit, we didn't want to fight the next ones coming up because they was mad and they was ruthless. So the powers that be, and I'm sure they're listening to this show, they better take heed.
We have to know who the enemy is. It's Bernanke, it's the Rothschilds, it's the Rockefellers, it's Geithner. When we get this country back, they're all going to get a fair trial. And, folks, I'm risking my life doing this. They're watching me right now. We're going to take them on, and a lot of us are going to have to give our lives in this fight. But in the end, we are going to kick their butt. God bless you, sir. Good to hear from you. More vets coming up. Got to basically register their guns and turn them in to the feds. That's the new freedom. Stay with us. Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange HomeGain gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com, HomeGain.com. Check them out today. Ron Paul's coming up. Calling us from the floor of the House. Your calls as well. Government demands inventory of all VFW weapons. Threatens, that should be the headline, threatens veterans with arrest if they don't report 100-year-old plus cannons that were given to them by the government. They're trying a lawyer trick now because the last 15, 20 years, they've been having them sign forms to get this stuff they give to them and push on them. You know, they ask the veterans, oh, come do all these funerals, you know, for dying vets, do these ceremonies, and here, you know, we'll give you the M1s to shoot the blanks, and we'll give you the uniforms and things. And now they're saying, we're going to send the BATF after you if you don't keep a record of all that. And they've also announced, until Congress got upset, Obama said no more brass left over from the military for reloading could be sold to big companies. And they're introduced all these bills to totally end the Second Amendment as we know it. This is all happening. This is all real. And it's just going to incrementally continue. But even though it's incremental, the incrementalism is accelerating now. It is intensifying now. It is expanding now. And the question is, as a society, what are we going to do about this? We have private outside banks that are having their way with the people. And as soon as Ron Paul gets on with us, that's what we're going to discuss, is the bill that he's introduced that's now got over 200 sponsors. Bill to audit Federal Reserve now has 207 co-sponsors. New names being added every day, momentum building for Ron Paul and the American people, identifying the outside criminal organization, the private bankers that have engineered the collapse, that have taken over our society. This is the New World Order. We have their minutes. We have their documents. We have it all. We understand what they're doing and what they're setting up and what they are creating. And when we broke the MIAC report, we broke the DHS report, listeners would call Ron Paul's office saying, hey, you've been listed as a terrorist. And Ron Paul didn't say this, but his office said that can't be true. And then later they said, oh, my God, it is. So I wanted to let Ron Paul know personally, I know he's going to hear about this from me, that it's from us and it's true. VFW BATF is threatening to raid them and confiscate even World War I, Spanish-American War, and also they were given Civil War cannons. They're saying you have to register all those with us, or we're going to SWAT team you with the BATF. And that is a fact, and we have broken it, and I have confirmed it, and it is absolutely massive news. Okay, I have just done an interview with Ron Paul. I want to get back to your calls on this VFW situation, get into the economy and a host of other issues. Okay, the last 2 hours I've had Ron Paul on. I've covered the VFWs, being told we're going to register your knives, your rifles, 160-year-old cannons, that old tank out front that's welded to the ground, and the DHS lists the veterans as the #1 terror group that Homeland Security set up for. I always told you it was for you. This is a criminal takeover. But it's now happening. We're taking your calls on that. Then I'm going to get into a bunch of other issues and financial news. We got Walter Williams, the economist, joining us for the first time ever. That'll be interesting. We Are Change pops in for like 10 minutes. They did a great job confronting General Myers, who was over the 9/11 attacks in NORAD. And I want to just have them pop in about that. And we're going to get a quick, at the end of the show, from a press conference that just started on the south side of the Capitol against this bill that openly ends the Fourth Amendment in Texas. The government can kidnap your children. No judge, no jury, no order. CPS are God creatures. They have the power of Henry VIII, or they have the power of, a medieval pope or something, and to just do whatever they want. Just absolutely incredible. Let's go to the calls here. Mark in Minnesota. No, that's Maryland, excuse me, who's a veteran, chiming in on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. I am a veteran. I was until this year a proud veteran, but I'm quickly losing my pride with things that are going on. This Obama administration's tearing me up. When you look at the Veterans Hospital and stuff and the way they've abandoned veterans, you really got to wonder. You know, I saw the article last night about the VFW, and it alarmed me because of what happened back in the 80s with the militia groups and banning any military training with militias. And it did alarm me, so I went to work this morning, and I got a hold of the Washington, D.C. headquarters of VFW, and I talked to this fellow who was very perturbed. His name is Jerry Newberry. I have his phone number. I can give it to you offline if you like.
Hold on. I had a pen in here, and it's been run off with like everything else. Thank you, sir. Just got thrown a pen. Let me write down these names. It was Jerry Newberry?
Yes, sir. Jerry Newberry. He's public relations, Washington, D.C. He's supposed to be one of the head honchos, public relations. 816-756-3390.
That's a public number?
Yes. Well, yes.
Okay, 816-756-3390. Okay.
Right. Now, his the official version that he gave to me, it seems that the VFW is going to take the side of the government.
Of course they are. It's going to grovel. If they told veterans groups to turn their firearms in and to throw their kids off cliffs, the leadership of the VFW and all these groups would say, Heil Hitler. Go ahead.
I understand what you're saying. I really do. But, first thing, he was very perturbed, and he said he was defending Dan West. He said Dan West, the sergeant, is internal male, and his words were threatening, not the government's words. It was the sergeant's words that were threatening, and he was trying to motivate the post commanders to comply with this.
Motivate them. It's always all in Texas and Kentucky and California confirmed in the news. It's just base commanders by themselves tell all the troops who live off base to register their private firearms. It's never the feds. It wasn't Obama banning the sale of brass from the military to reloader companies. Obama had introduced all these gun bills to basically ban the Second Amendment. He didn't call for total gun bans as a state senator. His attorney general didn't argue for it last year in federal court, a total national gun ban. Oh, no. I mean, these people are sick.
I know, and it gets worse, Alex, because what he says next is alarming because it's so incriminating that it's hard to believe. Now,
Stay there. I want to hear when you're talking to who you say as a caller, but I believe you. We'll call and check it, though we haven't confirmed it. Jerry Newberry, Public Relations, D.C., and this is what happens. We break the news, thanks to listeners giving us tips. Everybody will run around and find out it's 50 times worse than even I said. We'll find out how bad it is on the other side. Stay there, Mark, then Rob, James, Bill, John, and others. Stay with us.